There are hundreds of good places to build your farm in Scrap Mechanic Survival, but not all are created equal. In my last video, I showed the spot that I believe is best, link for that down in the description below. However, if you are looking for a more casual survival experience, there are a few places you can build your farm that will make defending it super easy. I'm MediocreMilton, and in this video I'm going to show you the 3 best places I've found to make dealing with raids a piece of cake. If you do end up finding this video helpful, please click the like button and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Also, I do stream over on Twitch, link in the description below. Let's get started. The third easiest spot that I've found, and that has been recommended many times in my YouTube comments for building your farm, is the hay maze. If you've never seen the hay maze, basically what it is a large maze that's covered in or surrounded by these large hay bales. And these, I think, are indestructible, so the bots can't break these from what I've seen and what I've been told. And if you've never been inside here, basically what it is just a maze. I'm sure this is probably going to somehow tie into the story mode that's going to be added at some point in the future. And as you'll see, it winds its way around, and then you get to a center area somehow that has a large open field. It has basically a large open area where you can just build your farm. And if you build in the center here, the bots are either not going to be able to find their way in because they're going to spawn on the outside, or if they do, you really only have to defend these 2 entrances, which makes it super easy to defend against raids. So most likely what's going to happen is they're probably not even going to make their way in here. And like I said, if they do, you just build over here and build over here, either with traps or just put walls up, and they shouldn't be able to get inside, and they should not be able to break this thing. So as you can see, it's very large. Now to find this, the easiest way for me to find this, from what I found, is I believe it's on the eastern side of the map. So if you consider that the starting spawn area, which is closer to this bag over here, is like the southwest side, that's where you come out of your spaceship. If you come out of the spaceship area where you start and go to the right and just find the coast and just follow the coast up and just keep following it, you will eventually run into this. From what I found, I couldn't find any roads that led here perfectly. They may or may not exist. I think it probably depends on the map, but you'll find this. Now I will warn you that to get to this, there's a chance you're going to have to go through some areas where there's farm bots. In fact, it's almost sure you're going to have to do that. So be careful. I wouldn't recommend coming here unless you have at least the spud gun and possibly the spud shotgun to avoid having to deal, or if you want to build the vehicle that I used that deals with the farm bots very easily. And I'll leave a link for that down in the description below as well in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is probably the 3rd best place to build. I know a lot of people build here, and like I said, I think this is going to tie into the story mode somehow because it's a major point of interest. It should be in the same spot on every map. So while the surrounding terrain may look different, yours may not have fields like this. I'm not sure. It probably does, but if it doesn't, you can always just find it, I believe, by just going to the right side of the map, which would be like the eastern side, and just following the coast all the way up. And now, conveniently in this map, like I said, I'm not sure what it looks like on other maps. There's also water right next to it, so it would be pretty easy to build a watering system inside of here as well. So yeah, the hay maze is definitely an easy place to build if you don't want to deal with raids, or if you want to make dealing with raids very easy. So with that said, let's move on to the second place, the second best place that I think where you can build your farm to deal with raids. In my previous videos and other videos in the past, I've mentioned islands as a place where you could possibly build. And in the previous video, I think I covered most of it, but just to recap, if you build on an island, the benefit of doing so for your farm would be that the bots will not spawn on the island as long as you cover the entire thing with either soil or player-built structures. I tested this. It works. It's 100%. So if you're looking for a super easy place to build, an island would probably be the 2nd best place you can build. And the other benefits of building on an island, aside from the fact that the bots will just not be able to spawn over here. So as mentioned in previous videos, if you cover the entire island and do not allow them to spawn anywhere on the island, in this case, the most likely place they're going to spawn is going to be along this shoreline over here. And as we know, tape bots, hay bots, and farm bots will not swim across the water. Farm bots will chase you into the water if they're following you, but if you're over here and they spawn over there, they shouldn't cross the water. So the only thing that's going to make it across is going to be tote bots. And it's very easy to stop them by just putting any type of block that's durability 6 or higher around the base of the island, and they just won't attack it. They'll just swim up to it, and then at about, I think it's 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 4:30, they'll just swim back across and disappear. So you won't have to deal with them at all. And because it's surrounded by water, it'll be very easy to water the entire farm that you build here. And if you're worried about having to traverse back and forth between the coast and here, you could easily build a bridge that goes across that's either a drawbridge or a retractable bridge that uses pistons that just moves back and forth, so you can just drive your cars and stuff back and forth. So yeah, an island, in my opinion, is the second best place to build your farm in Scrap Mechanic if you're looking for a casual experience or you just don't want to deal with raids. So with that said, let's move on to the best spot, which just so happens to be really close by to this island that I found. Now, those other two spots provided a lot of benefits to building there in terms of casual gameplay experience, but the number one best place that I found, and I'm not sure if this spawns on every map as the maps are randomly generated, is a plateau. And what a plateau is, if you're not familiar, would basically be a raised piece of land that is completely surrounded by rock walls. So in this case, this thing has, if I walk all the way around it, you're going to notice that there is not one way for any of the bots to get up. In fact, for me to get up here, I have to use either my lift or I have to build stairs to get up here. And what would happen here is if you build your farm up here and cover the entire plateau, or at least the outer edges of it, with floors or walls or any of your own player-built structures, the bots will have to spawn down at the bottom of these walls, and none of the bots can traverse this wall. This wall is almost straight up all the way around. And like I said, I've not seen any other structures like this on this map, and obviously it's completely randomly generated, so it may or may not exist on other maps. You might have to load in a bunch of times to try to find something like this. But if I build up here and cover this entire thing so there's nowhere for them to spawn. So for example, if you build all the way down there and don't cover most of the plateau up here, they can spawn down here. However, if you cover the entire plateau with some type of structure or soil, they will not be able to spawn up here, and therefore you could do the highest level raids without ever having to face a farm bot or any of the tape bots or anything, because they won't be able to hit you. You just stand up here and you're safe. And even doubly great is if I decided to do this on this map, is it's right next to the starting spawn area. It's in the starting spawn chunk. So there's the spaceship, as you can see, and I've cleared out most of these trees. This was mostly forest. So not only would it be super easy to have a max level raid up here and not have to deal with the farm bots or anything, just completely AFK, it's also in the starting chunk. And in the starting chunk after patch 0.4.6, there are no bots there's no hay bots or tote bots that are randomly wandering around. So there's no mobs. So this entire area is free. I can just go grab resources and stuff like that and not have to worry about any mobs wandering around. Now, will I build up here? Probably not, because the reason I started playing the game was because I want to deal with the raids, but others might want to play the game differently. And the only negative in this building, in this spot right here, is the water's it's not terribly far away, but it's pretty far away. So if I decided I wanted to build up here, or if you had something similar to this and you were this far away, you would just have to build some type of blocks into the water and run them all the way up here to connect. But in terms of overall difficulty, that would be very trivial versus having to deal with possibly up to 3 farm bots if you do a max level raid with broccoli or pineapple. So yeah, Plateau, if you can find one in your world, it's the easiest place to build. You won't have to deal with anything, and you can basically just walk up there and not have to deal with any kind of raids at all, or have any bots attack your base, so long as you cover the entire thing and don't give them a place to spawn. So yeah, those are the 3 best places I found to build a farm if you don't want to deal with raids, or if you want to make dealing with raids very easy. So if you did find this video helpful, please click the like button and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Also, I do stream over on Twitch, link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.